Welcome into the Oklahomans Video Studio. Dave Morris here. Thanks for tuning in. Joined by my friend Brian Paul. And I know Brian from back in our days at Oklahoma City University, where you were a basketball star at Mustang High School and then went and played for the OCU as the Chiefs back then, wasn't it?
Was the Chiefs. But we have to use the word played very, very loosely.
A fantastic athlete and basketball player. You finished your collegiate career at UCO, and now you're doing work with veterans. Great to see you again. Thank you for your time this morning. Thanks for stopping in. VeteransForLifeUSA.org is the website. So let's just start right there. What is Veterans for Life USA?
Well, we're an advocate group that helps our veterans and first responders do pretty much not do what I did, and that's go down an unhealthy path of alcohol and coupled with PTSD, and help provide encouragement and support through a network of foundations like ours that really help folks out.
Big need?
Big need. Going through working on this foundation, we've come to discover it's a big problem.
You just started this foundation earlier this year, right?
Yeah, late January.
Yeah. Well, let's back up and talk about your story. I mentioned you went to Mustang High School, OCU, UCO. At that point, though, along the way, you joined the National Guard.
Joined the Guard in college. Me and a buddy of mine, we decided we want to go have some fun and go jump out of helicopters and shoot things. And
how was it jumping out of helicopters and shooting things?
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Okay. So you're with the 45th Infantry, which is based here.
Thunderbirds, yeah.
Thunderbirds. Okay. How long were you with the infantry?
Several years.
Okay.
Several years, and then took a job with Roadway up in Kansas City, and moved up there, and it was up there for about 18 years. And
Kansas City is a great city, much like Oklahoma City, kind of similar, really. At that point, though, you also decided to go into another form of service, EMT. Yeah,
I was a full-time EMT, and also put myself through the fire academy and EMT school.
Now, why did you decide to go that route?
I've always enjoyed service work, and
it's like jumping out of a helicopter. It seems like something kind of fun.
Jumping out of a helicopter, yeah.
But at some point along the way, you encountered some PTSD, right?
I did. I took really an unhealthy path with dealing with stresses that were work-related, and that's what we're encouraging people not to do, is to take the path that I did. And my story is not really unique. There's a lot of first responders and ex-military folks that deal with some pretty rough struggles that we would like to see them not go down. And what we do is provide hope and encouragement through a network of organizations that can hopefully get to the root of the problem with each individual.
You mentioned the experiences. We didn't mention it at the time, but one of your first experiences was the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah. Went down to the bombing for a short time, and that likely was part of the influence that began leading me down that path of unhealthy lifestyle outside of my service.
Because whether it's infantry, EMT, fire, you guys in the first responder business see people in really bad situations, and frankly, just really bad situations.
Bad situations, but not every call is really that traumatic. But the ones that normally involve children and things of that nature, and we do occasionally get some big fires. Fires don't happen as often anymore, and that's a good thing. We're doing the fire service is doing its job by prevention, but they do happen.
So along the way, you turned to alcohol as a way of perhaps coping with some of this, and that's something you probably see, not to put words in your mouth, other people dealing with as well.
Absolutely. My story is not unique. There are a lot of first responders that deal with the same struggles. I'm your typical, guy down the street that decided to get in the fire service, and I really enjoyed a lot of it, and it can be done in a very healthy way if you've had the proper coping mechanisms in place, the healthy things like working out and enjoying time with your family is key, and really the family aspect of what we do is a very powerful tool, because that really is what is at the core of each individual that leaves in the morning to go to work and do the kinds of things that we do.
That's a good point. We're chatting with Brian Paul here. He's with veteransforlifeusa.org. They have an event coming up this weekend, Saturday, June 4th, in Mustang, and tell us about that.
We're going to have a good time this Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Sunday, yeah, 2 o'clock, festivities kick off. 3 o'clock, we'll start out with the national anthem sung by Oklahoma's own Brian Wortman.
Very nice.
He is a national anthem singer with the Dodgers here in Oklahoma City. He's also done some work with Kansas City Royals, which I'm familiar with.
Okay.
He hadn't done any work with the Chiefs, but big Chiefs fan. I've got a friend of mine that plays for the Chiefs. He's a good guy, and he's got a foundation up there in Kansas City as well. So, but we've got a number of bands from Boss County, one of my favorite bands here.
Okay.
Good friends of mine. So, got to give a shout out to Boss County.
Definitely.
We've got the Street Kings, and then followed up with Nick Nose.
Okay.
Nick Nose is a great band and a great supporter of our vets, and they play. Well, they're scheduled to play at Rocklahoma this year, but I guess Mother Nature had
there was that
had
storm
other
that
plans.
blew
With,
through.
yeah.
All right, very good. So that's coming up this Sunday in Mustang. You can find more information about that at veteransforlifeusa.org. Brian, let's talk more about that, though. Who all is involved? What sort of who all is involved? Let's start right there.
Well, we've got a number of folks on the board. I've just been really privileged and honored to be surrounded by just a number of great folks that have really helped me out along the way.
There they are. Nice job, Greg.
There we go.
I remember Justin from OCU.
Yeah, Dr. Justin Sparks, Mac Sasser. Mac doesn't necessarily like me talking about Mac a whole lot, but so I'll go ahead and do that now. He's a great guy, a very influential person. He runs a very powerful veterans business networking group in Melbourne, Florida. Who else we got? Jeff Justice. He's a Mustang guy. He's out in Amarillo. He's an Amarillo firefighter. He was Amarillo firefighter of the year last year or the year before. I don't know.
Good for Jeff.
And then Ryan Schupak. He's a great friend of mine from Kansas City, and he's a very strong leader with the Air National Guard. He's deployed a couple times, I believe, to Afghanistan. And Mac is a Bronze Star Award winner.
Oh, wow.
As well as a recon team leader over in Baghdad during our initial push up there.
You mentioned that Veterans for Life USA is an advocacy group, but it's also a nimble group versus perhaps going to a big government program. You guys might be able to provide some help in a faster method if somebody, because as you mentioned to me before we got started here, at some point when people ask for help, they may have waited at the very end to start asking for that help.
Yes, that's correct. The problem with guys like first responders and vets is we tend to be been accused of being hard-headed once every so often, once or twice. So
plays to your advantage most of the time, though.
Right. It's good for some things and
Yes.
not so good with others. But so typically, when you see a guy or gal like us, we would typically be at our lowest point before we went and actually received that help or asked for that help. So with a slower moving organization, typically what I believe is that the downhill slide continues versus there's got to be something that kind of raises that trend. And so we we like to try to be very, very responsive, very personal, and really the personal touch is what's key. People can get on the website and look at my story and say, hey, that sounds a lot like mine.
Could relate to that.
They can relate to that, yes, and that's the key.
2 more questions for you, Brian, and I'll get you out of here. First of all, how can people help? How can they, if they say, hey, I like this organization, I want to help out what Brian's doing here, how can they get involved?
Well, there's a couple different ways. Website, if we don't ask for people to donate funds to our group, we just ask that they do their research and they help out in some way that's right for them to a group that's focused on the problem with our service members, because it's a big problem, and but they can donate on the website if that's what they choose to do. Also, they can also contribute their time and efforts, which is always a big need.
Sure.
It's been quite a task, but we're gaining support, and if they choose to donate their time and efforts, they can do so by a simple registration form that we've got, and we'll have it at the benefit concert.
All right, very good. And finally, what takeaway would you want people to have? They're aware of this. What's the one thing that you want people to know the most about Veterans for Life USA?
Well, it's a story of hope, and although we have a huge problem right now, through networking of like-minded individuals, we plan on getting a firm grip on it, and having that negative trend turn into something that's very positive for our folks.
Very good. He's Brian Paul. He's behind Veterans for Life USA. Brian, it's great to catch up. Good to see you.
Good to see you, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your service, and thanks to all your friends for their service as well.
I'll let them know.
All right. Thank you.